Jesus says, "My child, I know the ache in your heart feels like a wound that refuses to close, like a whisper that echoes louder in the silence than the loudest scream in the crowd. But I need you to know this pain will not go unanswered. There is someone who broke you in ways you never deserved, someone who took your love and mistook it for weakness, someone who thought your silence was surrender, but heaven saw it all. I watched every moment you stayed kind when cruelty was easier, every tear you wiped in private because they never cared to notice, every prayer you whispered in the dark when you were left to pick up the pieces of a heart that they shattered without remorse. And I tell you now, the one who hurt you so deeply, the one who thought they walked away untouched, will one day speak your name with tears, not because you failed them, but because they failed to recognize the miracle you were in their life. My child, there's a record in heaven not only of your pain, but of your patience. Your restraint was holy, your love was real, and your story is not ending in heartbreak. It is only beginning in healing. You see, when I allowed this person into your life, I also allowed you the free will to give them your love, your time, your loyalty, and you gave it freely, beautifully, but they treated it like it was disposable. They walked away, thinking they had won some imaginary battle, not knowing they had just lost a soul whose presence was a divine gift. You were never ordinary. You were a light in their darkness, a whisper of peace in their chaos, a chance to feel my love through your gentleness. But they chose their ego over your embrace, their pride over your purity, and now, child, the time has come for the divine exchange. For every moment they ignored your value, I will send someone who treasures you. For every time they silence your voice, I will amplify your name in places you never imagined. For every night you cried alone, I will send waves of comfort so deep that even your past will feel like a distant echo. But don't think I'm finished with the one who hurt you either. I am not a God who delights in vengeance, but I am a God of balance, a God of justice. They will feel your absence not as a gap, but as a ghost, haunting, gentle, painful. Their new surroundings will not have your light. Their future choices will not hold your wisdom. And as they face the silent nights ahead, their mind will replay the sound of your laugh, the depth of your words, the warmth of your presence, and it will feel like a loss they cannot name. They will try to replace you, but find a replacement hollow. They will try to forget you, but feel their soul whispering your name in dreams. They will try to rewrite the narrative, but the truth will scream louder than their excuses. And in that moment, when pride finally breaks under the weight of longing, when ego can no longer hold back the flood, they will speak your name with tears, not because they want to fix it, but because they finally realize what they destroyed. But by then, you won't be standing where they left you. You won't be broken. You won't be waiting. You'll be thriving in the purpose I've placed over your life, surrounded by peace, favor, and a love that mirrors the care you once offered without hesitation. This is not just about them. This is about you, about the restoration I'm weaving into your future, about the favor I'm preparing behind the scenes, about the tables I'm setting in rooms they'll never enter. So don't look back. Don't scroll through old memories hoping for a sign. Don't wait for an apology from someone who never learned how to speak with humility. You're being lifted higher. And as I take you into a new season, one where your laughter will be genuine and your rest will be deep, I want you to carry this truth in your soul. Your value was never tied to their validation. You were never hard to love, They were just unequipped to receive you. You were never too much. They were too little in spirit to match your depth. But I have heard your cries. I have felt your heartbreak. And I promise you this, child. One day, their tears will fall not just because they remember you, but because they remember how they mishandled something sacred. And by then, you will have already stepped into the future I have handcrafted for you. A future that doesn't wait on apologies. A future drenched in joy, clarity, and divine connection. Hold on. I'm not finished. The best part of your story is still to come. And now, beloved, as your soul begins to stretch beyond the ruins of what was, I need you to see what I've been building for you in silence. While they forgot your birthday, I remembered your destiny. While they were laughing in the presence of others, thinking they had moved on, I was scripting a scene so breathtaking in your future that their memory would fade beneath the glory of what I am about to reveal in your life. You see, I didn't let them leave to break you. I let them walk away so I could heal you without their distractions, their sabotage, their subtle digs that made you question your worth, their inconsistency that made you doubt if you were lovable. They were not your forever, they were your classroom. They came to teach you what loyalty isn't, what true love doesn't feel like, and what healing absolutely requires: release. Do not hold on to the ghost of what once was. Do not mistake temporary chemistry for eternal purpose. If they were meant to stay, they would have fought through the storm with you. If they were designed to love you well, they wouldn't have weaponized your vulnerability. I didn't show you glimpses of their darkness to make you bitter. I showed them to help you see what you were praying for was not aligned with what you truly deserved. And I know how deep your wounds go. I know you reread messages that now feel like lies. I know you played back the final conversation, hoping to find a different ending. I know you begged me in the middle of the night to bring them back. But listen closely. What you called loss, I call liberation. I did not take them away from you. I took you away from what was quietly poisoning your promise. Their presence dimmed your light because it forced you to shrink, to bend, to constantly earn love that should have been freely given. I watched as you tolerated crumbs when I had a feast prepared for you. I saw you justify emotional starvation because you mistook it for sacrificial love. But child, love doesn't keep you second guessing. Love doesn't hurt on purpose and call it honesty. Love doesn't play with your peace and call it just being human. True love protects, restores, honors, covers. And I have prepared that kind of love for you, not just in another person, but in me, and then in someone who reflects me. The next time your name is spoken with tears, it won't be from you crying for them. It will be from them crying for the version of you they can no longer access. By then, you will have found joy that does not need their apology to feel complete. By then, you will have grown so tall in spirit that even their shadow can't touch you. Yes, they may scroll past your new joy and feel a sting they can't name. Yes, they may hear your name in conversations and quietly exit the room because it reopens a wound they tried to forget. And that's not revenge, that's revelation. That's me showing them, gently but powerfully, that you were never the one who lost. I will use your elevation to humble them, not to humiliate, but to awaken. Because even in their regret, I will still call them to look inward and repent, not return. Their remorse is not your closure. My voice is. Their silence is not your answer. My word is. Their confusion is not your fault. It's the result of rejecting something divinely sent. So now, child, I want you to prepare. Prepare to be loved in a way that doesn't require healing afterward. Prepare to walk into rooms where your name is respected without having to prove your worth. Prepare to become the version of yourself that you had to bury to keep them comfortable. And most importantly, prepare to live in such alignment with me that when people think of you, they no longer associate you with the heartbreak of your past, but with the miracles of your present. This is where the chapter shifts. This is where the silence becomes sacred. This is where the tears you once shed become seed for the harvest I am bringing into your life. And even though they'll speak your name with tears, child, you will smile, not from pride, but from peace. Because you'll finally understand that I never took something from you. I was always protecting what I planted in you. Your story is still being written, and your next chapter begins with joy. And now, in the stillness of your heart where the echoes of their absence used to scream, I am planting something sacred, something eternal, something they could never have understood even if you had begged them to. You see, child, I have not just been healing your wounds, I've been rewiring your identity. I have been showing you who you were always meant to be before they mishandled your tenderness, before they confused your kindness for weakness, before they taught you to flinch at affection and question your reflection. I am removing every seed they planted in your soul that whispered, "You are not enough," and replacing it with the roaring truth. You are my beloved, chosen, seen, protected, and fiercely loved. I know it hurt when they walked away without explanation, as if you were just a chapter they had outgrown. I saw you stare at your phone long after they stopped replying, wondering if you ever meant anything to them at all. I watched as you tried to rewrite your memories to make them look kinder than they really were, just so you wouldn't break under the weight of what they did. But I need you to hear me now. There's no love that requires you to beg for basic respect. There is no destiny attached to someone who constantly made you question your worth. They did not leave because you were too much. They left because their spirit couldn't stand the weight of your calling. Your purity convicted their chaos. Your patience revealed their immaturity. Your honesty disrupted their mask. You didn't lose them. They lost the only person who ever saw their brokenness and still stayed. But even though they didn't know how to cherish you, I want you to understand this. I will never waste your pain. Every lonely night, every unanswered prayer, every teardrop on your pillow has been gathered by heaven and transformed into purpose. I have been writing a redemption so detailed, so divine, that one day your enemies will have no choice but to testify on your behalf. That day is coming, and sooner than you expect. Even now, while you're quietly moving on, they are replaying the moments they took for granted. They scroll through pictures, they revisit messages, they see your growth, and deep down, they know they missed something holy. Their pride won't let them reach out, but their spirit knows your presence was different. That knowing, that deep spiritual ache they cannot shake, is me. I'm the reason they can't fully move on. I'm the reason they feel that gentle pang every time they hear your name. Because your spirit is not easily forgotten, your love not easily replaced. I gave you a rare light, child, a healing light, a purifying light. And though they tried to dim it with their indecision, I have reignited it with my breath. And now, as you walk forward, I want you to release even the last thread of hope that they'll come back as someone better. If they do return, it will not be for you to reopen the door. It will be for them to witness how I healed what they destroyed. And yes, one day they will say your name with trembling lips and watery eyes. Not because they love you now, but because they realize they never truly did when it mattered. By then, you will no longer need their apology to validate your worth. You will have tasted a joy that makes closure irrelevant, a peace that makes explanations unnecessary, a purpose that makes pain a servant instead of a master. What they did may have changed you, but it did not destroy you. In fact, I used it to elevate you. This is not just recovery, it's resurrection. And child, you're only getting started. Keep walking. I'm still writing. So now, beloved, you stand on the edge of a new season, not shaped by the wounds of your past, but by the strength I forged in you because of them. The person who walked away, who lied, who gaslighted your reality and twisted your kindness, who silenced your cries with their indifference and ignored the soul that only ever wanted to love them purely. They're beginning to feel the divine weight of what they've done. In their quiet moments, I have allowed the mirror to show them not only what they did, but what they lost. That mirror reflects your name now, not with bitterness, not with pride, but with sorrow they can't escape, with regret that festers like a wound they can't stitch up. They try to drown it in distractions, in replacements, in busy schedules, and loud rooms. But your silence speaks louder than their noise. I told you I would make your healing a testimony, and that testimony is becoming louder than any apology they could ever offer. You no longer need them to recognize your worth. I made sure heaven documented it, and now the tables have turned. You don't even have to speak. Your glow speaks for you. Your peace preaches sermons their guilt can't compete with. They are praying for chances they once wasted, remembering moments they once mocked, aching for conversations they once shrugged off. And while they are haunted by memories, you are being flooded with favor. You are rising with clarity, attracting opportunities soaked in divine alignment. Walking with people who don't question if you're worthy, but simply thank me for sending you into their lives. That's what I've been doing in the background all this time. While you mourned in private, I was building a future for you in public. While they doubted your value, I was magnifying your name in the halls of heaven. While they laughed, I anointed. While they rejected, I redirected. And now I will reward. I promised that vengeance is mine, not to punish them, but to protect your peace. And now that the storm has passed, I want you to understand something sacred. What you thought was a detour was actually a fast track to your calling. What they thought they broke, I used as raw material for your rebirth. You're no longer the version of yourself who begged to be understood. You're no longer desperate for their recognition. You are standing in a frequency they can't even access unless I allow it. You have leveled up spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and with that ascension comes a clarity so deep that you no longer miss them. You no longer crave their validation. You see now that you were the blessing they weren't ready to steward. You were the answered prayer they didn't even realize had arrived. And I, the Lord your God, am not going to let you circle back to places I've already rescued you from. This chapter is closing not with heartbreak, but with holy closure. And though you never got to say everything you wanted, I've said it all for you through the life I'm building in front of you. Let them remember. Let them regret. Let them pray. But you, my child, you will rise. You will smile with joy not born from circumstances, but born from faith. You will walk into rooms where your presence will heal what others couldn't even name. You will receive love that does not run, that does not flinch, that does not manipulate. And when the one who hurt you speaks your name with tears in their eyes, it will no longer sting, because you will be too busy tasting the sweetness of everything I promised while you wept. Your story is not about who left, it's about who stayed. And I, Jesus, stayed. I never left you. I never gave up on you. And now, I'm bringing you to the promise. Keep walking. What's ahead will not just restore you, it will astonish you. The miracle is already moving. Heaven is not done, and neither are you.